have mercy, look at how the time goes.
3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Coming Home podcast with John Allen. It's me, John Allen, and today I have a very good friend of mine, a great guest. His name is Joachim Eikeri. Joachim, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's good to finally be on the podcast.
Yeah, you know, we've been talking about this for a couple, 3 weeks now, and you know, you're busy. I pretend to be busy, and it just hasn't matched up until now. But here we are in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking crazy times. We both have children, so we're getting pretty knackered these days, don't we? It's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, but for me, you know, I can speak for myself. For me, it is very much in the realm of business as usual. All I do is my music and my podcast and my writing. So to sit at home and be confined to my home office and to my studio, for me, is no big deal. Now, that is not to downplay anyone else's drastic changes that they're having in their life. You know, I can look at my kids, for example, you know, the fact that they're not going to school. Yeah, that's somewhat of a change for them, but they have a great online classroom, if you will, every day, and they do their regular amount of schoolwork. Their schools are doing a great job. So for me and my family, and my wife, she's a nurse, so she's out there doing what she always does, a psychiatric nurse, I should add. So she has a little bit less pressure on her than the regular. I call them the regular nurses have. My wife will get mad at me for saying she's not a regular nurse. But so here in my house, it's not that big of a change. But what are you experiencing?
Well, I'm actually, when I'm not doing stand-up and all that, I'm actually a teacher. So I'm talking to the kids online and doing all that stuff you mentioned. Really. So that's been kind of busy, especially when having my own kids around. So you have to balance like everything.
I would imagine that's like a double challenge because, yeah, as you say, you're a teacher, so you've got to take care of those kids and their lesson plans, but then you got to have that oversight over your own kids. You know, I'll admit I've caught my kids a couple, you know, they're good kids, but I've caught them a couple of times, you know, playing those crazy kids games on their computers and and things like that. So you have to keep your eyes out for that. I'm just giving you a little hint, a little tip there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but people just need to stay home now so we can get this over with and get back into the world. Don't you think?
Yeah, you know.
Do you think it's that simple or...
Well, it's. I don't think it's simple, but I do believe that is the solution. I think if people stay home, this thing will go over quicker than if people are. Well, you know, for example, I saw in New York there was a big U.S. Navy ship that pulled into New York Harbor. Is a Navy hospital ship with like 1,000 beds and tons of doctors and nurses to help New York City. So I see that thing and I'm thinking, wow, great! What a great solution. What a great piece of help that New York City will get. But then I look and they show all of these idiots that came to the harbor, hundreds, if not thousands of people packed together looking at this ship. And it's like, idiots. What's wrong with these people?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. It's that simple. People just need to stay home. I mean, because this is no joke. And I actually wrote a Corona song, Stay Home song.
Oh, you wrote a Corona song.
just for fun. Because my favorite Norwegian standup comedian, Henrik Fladseth is his name.
Yeah.
He posted online an article with some great quotes from American students who went to party, you know, instead of following government guidelines.
Yeah.
As you say, with the ship, they just like, and as a joke, that stand-up comedian, he added the tag, "Someone please make a song." And so I went for it. So the song's on my Facebook page, link on Instagram, so people can listen to that if they want, but that's just a joke. It's not like, your music, which is like real music.
Oh,
I would say.
Oh, all music. Thank you for that. But all music is real music. I think the minute anyone puts a piece of music out there for others to hear, it is real, regardless of the genre, regardless of the quality, regardless of the production. But thank you for that. Yeah. But you have to remind me at the end, before you go, to tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram and all that stuff, so we can check out that song. Yeah, because now you mentioned you're a stand-up comedian here in Norway. You are a teacher here in Norway. You are also a musician. You play bass, correct?
Yes.
Bass, yeah. Now, do you play any other instruments? Just tell us what you've done musically. Do you have anything out there? Have you been in a band? Have you guys released anything?
Actually, okay. To start from, you say I play. Yeah, when I've been in bands, I usually play the bass.
Yeah.
I would say I'm not the best, but I'm the man you want.
you can hold a groove. You can hold a groove. Yeah.
Yes. So when I was studying back in England, I played in some bands there, but that music is not anywhere to be found now. But for a couple of years ago, I played with a band with a modest name, Walking Heroes. and
very modest.
Very modest. So, the music to that band, that's on Spotify and iTunes. And so I play the bass in that band.
Say the name of the band again.
Walking Heroes.
Walking Heroes, and people can find that on Spotify. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of indie rock music. I like a lot of different stuff, but I like playing that. Yeah. That music,
so when they listen to that, they'll hear you on the bass. Do you do any background? Do you do any background singing or anything? Or are you just on the bass?
Just on the bass for that one. I did background singing at concerts and stuff, but no, not on the record. Only the bass.
I see. Yeah, kind of way back in the mix on the live scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. When I look at you and what you do, the stand-up, the music, you're a teacher. I also was a teacher at one point here in Norway. Not a lot of people know that, but I was. I see a lot of similarities. We have interconnecting lives. It seems like we have the same interests, and that is one thing that made it real easy for me to talk to you from the very beginning. I think the first time we met, wasn't it at Drammen? Wasn't it at the club evening here in Drammen at Union?
Yeah. First time I met you. Yeah, I was in Drammen. Union scene.
Yeah. Yeah, and right away, man, we just clicked. There it was, a friendship right away. Yeah,
that was a good night as well. It was a fun night, and Barbek as well. You had him on the first episode.
That's correct. Yeah.
He did a good job too.
Yeah.
He was.
Bobek is always tight. He's got his routine down. And what's been exciting is the last couple of times I've seen him, he's been adding some new material. So there's going to be some big things coming from him in the near future.
Nice.
I would have to imagine that now with this virus and the shutdown and everything, things are kind of put on hold for him. But if I know Bobek, he's just using the time to write more material and make it solid. So he's a good guy. Bobek's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember, you guys were talking about also the stand-up course in Oslo. Because I actually went to that course. That was my way into the stand-up business.
Okay, yeah.
So
now how long have you been doing stand-up?
Only since December. No, November last year.
That's
so
it?
It's not in, I'm pretty new. I just wanted to do something new.
Wow.
Because I had just, not just, but I had been divorced. for some time.
Congratulations.
And then, yeah.
I say that to be a little bit funny, but I also mean that. I think it's very strange. But think about it. Isn't it very strange when you're talking with someone and you tell them, "Oh yeah, I'm recently divorced." What is the first thing they say? "Oh, I'm sorry." Why are they saying that?
No.
Isn't it a good thing? Wasn't it meant to be that you should? So I say congratulations. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I like that. So that's also why I have the kids 50-50. Or,
Yeah, that's right. Because we wanted to do this last week and it just got a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
I blame, like I said, I pretend to be busy, but actually the week when we wanted to do it, I was busy because the only time we would have been able to do it was late in the evening, like at 9 p.m. And you would have heard me snoring on the podcast live. I was so tired that week.
Yeah, but I was so glad you called me up and postponed the whole thing because I was I was out of it as well. But the stand-up thing, I just wanted to challenge myself.
Yeah.
So I called. Actually, after some calls, I called Joachim Eikeri. He's like a stand-up legend.
Yeah.
In Norway.
Yeah.
He's you could say he's like the godfather of stand-up.
Okay. Yeah.
Or what have you. So
I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him yet.
No. You might meet him at some point. But so he wanted me to go to that course. Yeah. So I did. You could always do the stand-up thing by yourself. But I'm actually glad I went to the course because it helps you with, contact, stages, and so on.
Yeah. Now, there was a time when I had first started that I was thinking about doing that, going to that course, going to that class and learning some tips. But I made a very conscious decision that I am not going to do that.
No.
I don't think I need I'm always open to learning new things. But when it comes to having a stage presence and using that connection to the audience, I think I've got that because I'm not scared to be on stage. I have no fear. I've been up on stage so often with music that being up there, I'm right at home. My biggest issue is remembering my doggone material. I forget. Oh gosh. So many, and it always seems to be my best lines or my best bits or best stories that I forget.
Yeah.
So
you remember right afterwards, you're like, "Oh man, why did I forget that?" but it's true. I mean, either you have the stage presence or you don't. And I mean, the course is not going to teach you that. But as something you can look at is how someone is holding the mic.
Oh, really? Yeah, little things like that.
Because that's just a very small thing and kind of a joke, really. But if the mic, is securely placed on the cheek, that's a course, the person,
Okay.
and if the person are waving it and you only hear parts of the sentence, well, should have gone to the course maybe, but it's only small things like that,
Well, but that's important because I have seen some people up there and they are mic wavers, and it's they're in and then they're out and then they're in and then they're out.
Yeah. So. True.
Oh boy. No, but you okay. Now I'm surprised. I was sure that you had a lot more time as a stand-up than just. Good Lord, you're good. I'm just going to say it. You're good.
That.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I like your stuff, man.
Thank you. I actually did a live stream stand-up the other day. Now, it's strange times and we can't get out. So.
Okay. Now you're going to have to tell me how that was. How did that go? Did you miss not having a crowd in front of you?
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, this was a private party. So it wasn't that many people. I would say 8 or 10 or something.
Yeah.
But I recorded the whole thing, and I actually it's on my Facebook as well for people to watch. And I would say that stand-up is not good for live streaming.
Yeah.
The format is but it actually went extremely well.
Okay.
And,
okay.
It's a difficult format for stand-up.
I don't dare. I wouldn't dare to do that. I've gotten quite a few offers now. The last couple of quite a few offers.
Nice.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm in high demand, but I've gotten some. I'm not going to brag, but I have had some offers. Let's say that some offers to do live stream stand up, and I've said politely and thank them, but said politely no every time because I would miss having that crowd. A lot of what I do depends on the crowd's reaction.
Oh, yeah.
If I can latch on to that. And if I didn't have that, I don't think I could do what I do. So no live streaming for me. No.
No, because you need the confirmation. And
I think
what was actually good, the good thing about having 8 to 10 people was that I could have their sound on. So I actually got, feedback, but, it lags. So their sound is reaching me 2 seconds afterwards.
Oh, man.
So you tell a joke, and then when you start the new one, then the laughter comes.
Well,
or it doesn't.
well, I don't drink, but if you're on stage doing a routine and you're drunk, isn't that the same thing? You're not going to register. You're not going to register the effects for a couple of seconds anyway. So
for this one, I was a tiny bit drunk as well, so the lag was probably 4 seconds, not 2. No, but it's strange times.
Yeah. It is very strange times, but I guess I'm fortunate. I don't guess. I know I am very fortunate to be in a period in my life where this shutdown and the isolation is not keeping me from doing what I normally do. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I've been more productive the last 3 weeks. I haven't been out since the 10th of March when I did Steinar's open mic. I haven't been out since then. I've been in the house since then, and I have no problems with that. None whatsoever.
No.
Yeah.
I think I did one performance the week after, but then it was lockdown after that, so everything just went away.
Now, you live in Oslo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to guess that most of the time that you get on the mic, it's in Oslo, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think the difference is between getting on the mic in Oslo and getting on the mic outside of Oslo? Because I've been in Oslo once at Steinar's, and I tell you, there's something different about the Oslo crowds. But what's your experience?
The thing is, I'm like you in a sense that I've only been outside Oslo one time. And that was when we met in Drammen.
Oh,
and that was a really good night. But the thing in Oslo is, sometimes the audience is there to watch the magicians or musicians, the other people. And then there's not that much of a feedback for the stand-up comedians.
Uh-huh.
But then you could have like a good night, as we did when you were at Steinar's.
Yeah.
Then we had a good crowd, I would say.
That was a great crowd.
So it all depends, really.
I think everybody could. I think everybody could sense that we were right around the corner from a shutdown here in Norway, so they wanted to get their laughs in as much as they could. But that was a great crowd. That was a great crowd, though. Yeah, I guess maybe that was a less than intelligent question that I gave you, because I guess I keep forgetting that you are relatively new, just like me at this thing. I started in March of last year, but I stopped from May until December of last year because of my shoulder operation. So I'm pretty much just as new at this as you are. But man, I love it. I'm having so much fun with it. I'm so glad I started doing it. No regrets. And I'm going to take this as far as I can.
Yeah, I love it as well. But I'm still, I'm still having a bit of, I love being on stage and doing all that, but I'm still nervous.
Really?
From time to time. Yeah.
It doesn't show. It doesn't show now.
No, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's nice.
What are your... No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to add that, we haven't been doing it that long, but I started in November, and my debut is out on YouTube if people want to watch it, because rewritten, not rewritten. I've come up with new stuff, so I just put the old stuff out there.
Okay.
So that's from November. So if people want to have a look at that, they can find it on YouTube.
What's your YouTube channel called?
It's just my name.
Okay.
Joachim Eikeri. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's Joachim Eikeri, people. That's Joachim, and then his last name, Eikeri, is Eikeri. I figured I'd spell that out for the non-Norwegian speakers out there. I am not a non-Norwegian speaker. now, when you and I'm very proud of that. When you and I speak, I guess I don't know what is this. When I'm on stage and I do my routine, I do it in English. I'm one of the few people. I think I'm the only one in the Drummond circuit who does their routine in English, and I do that because I need to be myself. You know what I mean? I need to go back to my native language. I need to express myself in my native language, which is American English. But other than that, normally I speak Norwegian to everybody except for you. For some reason, we only speak English together.
So, well, you're telling me you know Norwegian?
You know what? I'm so proud of speaking Norwegian. When I came here, my first job was at a school, as we call it, ungdomsskole. And at that school, when I got that job, I was leading a project, an after-school activities program, a project that the local government had, and then that was half of the job, and then the other half was working as a music teacher. And when I started that job, I spoke only English, but within a couple, 3 months, I was speaking Norwegian to everybody because of those kids, hearing those kids. I opened the door to cooperation with them. I told the kids, if I say something wrong, please correct me. And they did.
Oh, that's a smart thing to do.
Oh, I was so fortunate to have that job and be in that environment where it was fairly easy for me to learn Norwegian. So, yeah. Great language. Great language you guys have. It's a great language you guys have. I think it's beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. I don't know what to say about that, but thank you.
well, let me qualify that statement. I think I live in Drammen now, and when I first came here, my first exposure to the language was up in Finnmark because my wife is from Finnmark. She's Samisk, and that's where her roots are. That's where her family is. And when we came here that first summer, we spent the whole summer up there in Finnmark. So that was my first exposure to your language. So when I speak Norwegian, the roots, the basis of my Norwegian is Finnmark. Mostly that is the dialect that I speak because and then down here, I actually have, I understand what people say, but if I come across someone that I don't understand when they're speaking Norwegian, they are always from this southeastern area, Oslo, Drammen. I don't understand. I think you guys speak so, different from what I'm used to. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we do.
You do. A lot of people don't understand. There's so many different dialects of Norwegian here. You can go, 15 minutes down the street here from Drammen, and you're going to run into a slightly different dialect.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we have a lot of them, and that must be so difficult when you are trying to learn the language and everything. Do you have a dialect when you talk Norwegian? Or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I speak. You can hear in my dialect. It's mostly Finnmark, but it's also Nordtroms because we lived there for a while.
That's cool.
And also, really cool. Yeah, and also a little bit of Hallingdal, Hellbillies. And I have a funny story. Now the non-Norwegians aren't going to understand this, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. My brother-in-law, my wife's brother, when I first came here, he was joking. I didn't know he was joking, though, but what he told me was, he says, if you want to learn proper Norwegian, you need to listen to this band called the Hellbillies.
Yeah.
So he told me that, and I took his word for it, and I started listening to the Hellbillies. Already after only being here for a couple of weeks, and I picked up tons of their phrases, tons of their words in their dialect that still sit with me in my Norwegian today. Not a lot, but a little. It's in there. So I don't know. People have trouble placing my dialect because it's kind of mashed together with Finnmark, Nordtroms, and Hellbillies.
Yeah.
So that's my Norwegian. That's how I speak Norwegian. So one of these days I'll speak Norwegian to you, and then you'll hear it.
I'm looking forward to it.
No, you're not. You'll just be confused.
No, that's great. I'm really bad at talking dialect. But I wish I had one because it sounds cool.
My wife speaks, for the most part, she speaks, the local Drammen dialect. But when she falls into her Finnmarkness, as I call it, then I think it's just beautiful. That's the best dialect, if you ask me, Finnmark. It sounds like they're singing to me, the up and down and the tone and all that. Yeah, I love it. Here's one thing I wanted to ask you. Now, when you studied in England, see, this is what makes you a Renaissance man. Now, you do stand-up, you're a teacher, you're a musician, you've been in bands before, but you also have fought in mixed martial arts. Talk about that. How did that happen?
No, I have just always really liked not fighting, but fighting, cage fighting.
Because there's therapy for that. There's therapy for that. If you enjoy fighting, we can talk you through that now.
No, but I remember when I started watching earlier UFC fights and all that. I thought that was very brutal, and I didn't like the looks of that. But what it has become over the years, that's what I like. I just like,
Yeah, because you're remembering back in the beginning when they were bare knuckle with no rules. You could headbutt, you can kick in the face when they're down. Yeah, that's
exactly.
That's how it started. Yeah.
So I'm more to maybe timeline it a little bit. My favorite fighter is Chuck Liddell.
Yes.
Do you remember that guy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So around that era with everything happening, that's where I was all head over heels with the fighting. So I just started training. I've always been into contact sports like American football. We play that in Norway.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
So we have about 5 teams or something in Norway.
Drammen Warriors, shout out.
I actually don't think they were around when I played, but I know there's a lot of teams now. So shout out to the Warriors. Yeah, we were the Bandits.
Okay. Yeah. So from American football and the contact that you had there, you just took it 20 steps further and jumped into mixed martial arts. Now, did you start training when you were here in Norway, or did you pick that up, the training, when you were in England?
A bit of both, actually. Okay. I did some training in Norway, but not as much as I did when I went to university. So I started a bit late. Okay. I would say, but I really enjoyed it, and then this opportunity to take this fight showed up, and so I thought, let's go for it. And I learned a lot from that. I would say.
Just from that one fight.
Yeah, just from that one fight, and it didn't even last that long. I lost and everything, but it taught me something about mindset and just to put yourself out there in a way.
There you go. And there is that common thread that you and I share, that fearlessness when it comes to jumping into something new. Let's back up a little bit now. Now, when you started training mixed martial arts, was it with the intention to eventually fight, or was it with the intention to just get into shape and kind of explore the sport? Or did you jump into it with a 100% sure idea of fighting?
I would say I wanted to fight. Yes.
Okay, so
But
you had full intentions from the get-go of fighting.
yeah, but the thing was, I was doing my master's degree at the same time, and life was happening on the side. So this was more of I saw that the opportunity was there, and I wanted to test it, but I knew that I had to, choose the university, the master's degree, and and everything that followed.
But within all of that, within that goal of quite responsible goal of getting, your education, getting your master's degree, you kind of dug deep into your physical and mental reserves and put yourself in a situation to train. Because I would imagine you can't train half-ass when you're training MMA. You got to go right. You got to go 100% into it. So I would imagine that was a pretty big demand on you physically and mentally.
Yeah, I really, I mean, now I have this kind of dad body, weighing 85 kilos or something. But then I was walking around being stronger than I am now, and I was 70 kilos or something.
Yeah.
There was, but the thing with mixed martial arts, which I think is good, is that you train the different aspects of it, and then you put it together. So. Yeah. I haven't been what should I say? I haven't been punched that much in the head.
Okay.
so I still have my senses and all.
Yeah, because
so I am. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, because that is such an issue with, I think more so with boxers, because boxing, that's all that is blows to the head. But at least with mixed martial arts, there's other aspects of it. There's the grappling, the ground game, and whatnot.
I would say, all in all, I'm much more of a grappler than a striker. So I've been doing the grappling part a lot, and I actually did some. I've been doing wrestling along the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did that when I got back to Norway as well. And actually, for a couple of years ago, there was this first freestyle wrestling competition in Norway since the 1940s or something.
Wow.
And I was in the first match.
Yeah.
And but that was madness, because there was in my group we had like four fights, but the other people were like people competing. They were going to the Olympics and stuff, so they were way too good for me.
Oh, man.
So I knew I was going to have a bad day that day. But I won one of the matches, so I'm proud of that. But in the first match, I ripped my knee.
Oh,
so I had to, like, later I couldn't stand on the knee and everything, and so I had to have surgery done. So that's what happens when you try to push yourself when
you gotta,
this, with the shoulder and everything.
Yeah, you gotta take your lumps if you want to get into any kind of sport. Absolutely. Did you have anybody helping you with your training, or were you alone? Because when I picture MMA, I picture these guys going to the so-called training camps, and they have like a whole team around them. What kind of did you have a team around you?
Yeah, I was actually training at this place called the London Shoot Fighters, and they actually have some. They had this guy John Hathaway. He's in the UFC still, I think.
I've heard that name.
Yeah, and nowadays they have Michael Page. He's a Bellator fighter, MVP. I didn't meet him because I think he went there the year after I quit or something. But the thing was, I was doing all the classes and stuff, and wasn't really doing it, what can you say, full time in a sense. But then I had that the fight, and after the fight, they kind of picked me up and wanted me to be on the team. So I got pretty good. Pretty good after the fight. But then I decided to, because I was looking at the timeline was like, okay, so now in maybe half a year or something, I'm going back to Norway after spending 5 years in England. So I decided not to take the next fight because they offered me one right away.
Okay.
But kind of, that's what I should have done because the feeling of doing something and then because of all the wrong reasons you lose and then you're stuck with that.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. It kind of, I learned something. I learned now, that I don't want to lose, or at least I'm fine with losing. But if I know that I didn't do everything I could, then,
There you go. Yeah. Well, that's a sign of a true athlete. There's a lot of people who I don't know, how do I say this? There's a lot of people who do athletic things, but doing athletic things does not mean you're an athlete. And I think that thing about wanting to know that you gave it 110%, that's part of being a true athlete.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I took from that, because I know for a fact if I had gone there with a team, with people telling you what to do and everything, then things could have gone differently. But when I entered that cage, everything just went blank.
Okay, tunnel vision.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just like, I'm not doing this correct. I'm not, So I know if I was to go back doing something like this, I would have had more fun. That this was not fun when
I see.
So I regret going there alone and thinking that I could do that on my own. So I learned that you need people around you, and you need positive people around you. That's but also actually a really important lesson.
Oh, absolutely.
I learned from,
absolutely.
But another important lesson I learned from fighting.
Yeah.
Let's see. This sentence actually, that a fighter is never 100%. You see what I'm saying? Like
I know exactly what you're saying. Absolutely. That's.
But I think it's the same for stand-up and everything else. We could be nervous, we could be, this or that, but we're never 100%. But we just have to pretend.
I can apply that. Well, I can apply that never being 100%. I can apply that to being a power lifter. It doesn't matter. When I go to a powerlifting competition, it doesn't matter what I have lifted. I always walk off of that platform thinking, I could have done more.
Could have done more.
Could have done more. When I got, and it's almost that we don't, or that I don't allow myself to fully enjoy my accomplishment. Now, I got the Norwegian squat record last year.
That's impressive.
I did that as a thank you. It was, I think that was probably the greatest sports moment of my life. To be 49 years old, and I got the Norwegian raw squat record, and it was great. But and everybody clapped, and my great friend and number one supporter, Hagen Nielsen, came up and gave me a hug and all that stuff afterwards. But almost immediately after that, I'm talking within 2 minutes of setting that record and having that joy, I immediately started thinking, why did I only squat X number of kilos? I could have done more. And there is that, and there is that athlete. There is that true athlete thing where you always have that feeling. I didn't give 100%, or I don't know. I think that's wrong to say. Maybe you give 100%, but you realize afterwards that 100% could have been bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's spot on. Spot on, and that's how I feel. Like now, actually, during Corona times, because I was doing good, running, lifting, all that, and I still feel good.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like, Rocky, Rocky One, that movie. I feel like Rocky because I'm not out of shape.
No, you're a solid guy.
Yeah, but I'm in a sense like wasting away. Not getting, the workout. I'm not where I want to be. But as we say, we have learned something. We still have the heart and mind maybe of a champion. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me ask you, when it comes to training and working out now, while you're isolated, do you have any weights in your garage or anything, or are you just out there running and doing stuff like that?
Yeah, luckily for me, I had some dumbbells and stuff, so I'm getting some done. But I'm just trying to focus on, what can you say? Just trying to stay positive and think that, just do something, keep it going, and then we'll see what the damage are when we get back. But
I have a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
Now here's the coach in me coming out. I've got a suggestion for you. How about you change that mental process where you're just going to kind of do what you can and see what happens? How about if you make a plan based upon what you know you're able to do now? You know, in other words, you adjust that 100%. You know, before, giving 100% towards your training meant going to the training, to the gym or whatever, and doing whatever you can there. Well, that 100% isn't feasible now. You can't do that 100%. So give yourself a new 100% to go towards. You know, for me, it went from, being able to squat, 200, 300 plus kilos and deadlift the same amount and so on and do all that stuff at the gym, to being in my garage, getting on my elliptical machine every day and doing body weight exercise with a TRX band every day. And based upon that set of tools, I now have adjusted my 100%, so that now I know that every day I've given 100% with what I can do based on the tools that I have, which is my elliptical machine and the TRX band. So then I'm not losing. I'm still achieving 100%. It's just a new 100% based upon the situation. Yeah. And then you drop all those thoughts of not fulfilling your plan. You drop all those thoughts of not being able to do what you want to do. You just have to drop what you want to do and look at what you are able to do, readjust, set a new goal, and boom, there you go. Just a little tip, Coach John. Free advice.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I just started to write down things. As you're saying, a new 100%.
Yeah. Just readjust, and keep on going. I'm going to write that down. A new 100%. That's a YouTube video.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because the thing is also, I'm hoping to make the cut at something called the Norway's Toughest. It's like a reality show called Norwegian Toughest.
Yeah. Is this new? I haven't heard of this.
The thing is, the reason why you haven't heard of it is because the other seasons, I don't think they quite like, people weren't watching it. That's what I think.
Okay.
I saw it and I liked it, but for some reason it just didn't caught on. So now they're doing a season 3. Actually,
season 3. Where the heck have I been? I've never heard of it.
No, but I didn't see it either.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, I kind of need to stay in shape. But I mean, the competition is hard though. But I think they need a joker, like a wild card, and I think that could be me. Because they need someone.
There you go.
To be fun in there,
Well, you have the personality to. You're somebody that people would find, entertaining. You have your humor, you have your personality, and then you throw on top of that your level of fitness, which can always, you can always work on that, and then. Yeah, man, you could get in there. How do you get on a show like that? Do they have auditions? How does that work?
Yeah, that's the thing, because someone gave them a tip about me. Yeah. And so they called me up, and then now I had to fill out some forms and stuff. So I don't know how far in the process they are, because they've been stopped by the corona and all. So, So I don't know, but next step is they pick 40 people from all of the people that are looking through all the looking through everyone, and then there's 40 people up against each other, and then the most interesting 10 or something is going to the competition. So it's a long shot, but it would be really fun.
Well, what a goal to strive for. You know what? That's fantastic motivation to stay in shape now, even though you can't go to the gym. You know, there's your motivation to find other ways to stay in shape. You know, body.
Yeah, definitely, because this is not too far off. Like, I think they're filming this like right after the summer. So if I'm in there, then I need to stay
How
focused.
Cool. How cool. Well, if you get famous, remember me, okay?
Yeah,
Take me with you.
Always.
Take me with you.
Yeah, but that's so important that we do, actually, because, I mean, stand-up and everything, that's a lonesome occupation, or what you call it.
Yes, it is.
We have to remember the people that, remember.
I've had Bobek on my show, and I did that, you know, because he and I have a good chemistry. We're friends, but also I want to give him the opportunity to you know, put himself out there to promote himself. Likewise with you, you know, you're I consider you a friend. I know you, but I also want to support your path and your stand up, and give you the opportunity to you know, to promote yourself and put yourself out there. And I think there's very few of us that are making any real money in Norway on stand up. But I think that could change if we had a better mindset when it comes to supporting each other.
Why? Because then more people would. If you stand alone, then
if you stand alone, then you're exactly that. You're alone, and there's a lot more power in a collective group when it comes to entertainment, especially with stand up, than when you're alone. Now, one thing that I've always been thinking of, and this is a thought that I have that I haven't really voiced to other comics, but that thought is, why aren't we better at, you know, every club, you know, Drammen has a club, a comedy club, Oslo has a comedy club, Fredrikstad has a comedy club. So they put on their club evenings, and that's fine. That's great, you know, to kind of, you know, open the door for local talent and open the door to the public. But why aren't comics, you know, what's keeping comics from going to places like Union Scene here in Drammen and booking that stage and putting on a 3-person show, and we keep all the money? What's keeping us from doing that? Nobody is really doing that. Everything is kind of limited to open mics and club evenings, and then you have that small handful of bigger, well-known comedians who are out there making the money. I don't know.
True.
It's just a thought.
The thing is, I actually tried for a month ago maybe to do something along those lines. It's just difficult to get a place to accept it. But the thing is, I think we should do that. Like, gather some people and, like, you know, this is kind of our freak show, and this is what we have to offer.
Yeah.
Take us in, and we'll see how it goes, and then we'll do it again. I mean,
I have plans. Bobek and I are going to do a 2-man show. It's it's very much on hold now because of the virus and all of the isolation now. But eventually, you know, this virus will go away, or at least go into the background, and we'll be able to get out there and do what we do. So that's our little 2-man show there. But I could see maybe in combination with 4 or 5 comedians, and you just book a night somewhere with a decent stage to where you can get a crowd there, and everybody, you know, brings in their little fan base. Plus, there'll be a few extra people who are just kind of curious. And all of a sudden, you've got a good crowd who's willing to pay, you know, a couple $100 to hear some decent comedy for a couple hours one night. And then that's
good for the place selling beer, and that's good for everyone.
Exactly.
Because you're at least bringing, if you have like a night like that, you bring at least 10 people each.
Yeah.
And as you say, maybe some people from the street.
Yeah,
And then,
you know.
you have at least 60, 70 people there all of a sudden.
Now you're putting a lot of of responsibility on me. I don't think I had 10 friends that like my stand-up. No, but you that is a good point. You know, if everybody brings their own fan base, all of a sudden you have a good sized crowd, and with a little bit.
I totally agree with you that you can't bring like the 10, same people every time. But if we were to like convince someone to take us in for the show, then we can do for that night. We'll just promote the hell out of it and just bring in 10 people each, so the place would be like, okay, we'll do this again. And then maybe next time we'll bring 3 people each, but maybe some from the street. And then, we have something.
You got to start somewhere. And if you got a quality product, which I know there's more than enough of us who can come with some quality stand-up, you have the desire to do it. You have the quality behind it. People will come. We see now with everybody being at home and being isolated, musicians especially are really taking advantage of the live stream thing, and they're being successful with it. People are sending musicians money now for live streaming. True. So people do appreciate culture and art, whether that art and culture is music or stand-up or whatever. People do appreciate it. We just have to put ourselves out there and make it happen. We as artists.
But actually, I just thought about, what you're saying, about this night and all, that's actually, how, what life is all about. We have kids, and if our kids simply just, ask us to get something, they frankly, they ask us about something they frankly did not deserve or something. We will either be angry or tell them, this is what I think. I know I'm rambling on now, but
no, go ahead.
But no. Yeah, because my point is, I'm thinking, don't ask, what you can get, but like ask, what must I do in order to get that?
Exactly.
It's so simple. So can I get an ice cream? No, it's not Saturday. But if you say like, Dad, I know it's not Saturday, but if I tidy my room, not bickering with my sister all day, would it be possible? Yeah, it could be possible. So, if the places just knew that, okay, it could be possible that we are bringing that amount of people.
Yeah.
That amount of cash goes into there. We're not like trying to invade them or anything. We're just trying to make a night that
it would be, I couldn't imagine any club owner thinking that would be a bad idea. It would be beneficial to the stand-up comedians, and it would also be beneficial to the house or to the location. We will bring people in. They will buy alcohol. They will fill the seats in that venue. If we are just given a chance. But I know it is difficult to get a club owner, to take us seriously. I don't know. It seems like stand-up comedy often, at least here in this area, often takes a back seat to other forms of entertainment. But I think we can do our part as comedians to flip that a little bit and put ourselves more in the limelight, more in the view of these club owners. We can fill up these clubs. We can do it. We just have to dare. True. We just have to dare to try. Yeah,
and then we are asking with a purpose, kind of.
Yeah.
So
let's see what happens, man. After this coronavirus lets up, let's see what happens. But I think that there is a new awareness of. What are people doing? They're sitting at home, bored out of their minds, and what are they doing? They're turning to entertainment. Whether it's Netflix, whether it's musicians live streaming online. Or, hopefully they're missing us as stand-up comics. The people that did used to go out to the clubs, I hope they miss us. And there will be a new interest in what we do after this virus situation lets up. That's my hope anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like post-corona as well, because in my stand-up, I'm talking a lot about the time after the Third World War.
Yeah.
So now I have to change it up to post-corona now.
Are you doing any writing now that you're sitting around a little bit more than normal, or are you doing any writing to change up your routine?
Yeah, I'm trying to make some memes, stuff like that, just small jokes here and there. And I'm because the online stand-up, that was a lot of new stuff in there. Yeah. Some old, some new.
So that was a live stream, so it's still available on your Facebook page then, correct? Okay, yeah. And people can find you on Facebook. It's just your name straightforward, right? Joachim Eikeri.
Yes.
And for the non-Norwegian speakers, that's Joachim. And then the last name, Eikeri, is Eikeri. And they can find you on Facebook. They can find you on Twitter. Are you on Instagram, but are you on Twitter as well?
Not on Twitter. I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
And,
Instagram and Facebook. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've noticed you've been putting a few more, some funny photos and memes and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to keep busy.
Well, it's mental training, You got to think of something funny. You try to make it funny. You put it out there and see what happens, and that's it's training. It's repetitions.
I was also, okay. What if we have to start like over? Creating a new society. If everything now goes, what kind of society would we?
Oh, man.
and also like. I was wondering what kind of peace symbol God is going for this time. Last time it was a rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is going to be now? Like,
oh
I don't
man.
know.
So those are a couple of, you're giving us a little foreshadow of some new bits you're going to add to your routine then. I see a concept. I see a concept developing here.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So last time we were left with a rainbow, and
this time,
I don't know.
A roll of toilet paper. A roll of toilet paper, maybe.
Across the sky, just to remind us. Yeah.
And then they can make it into like a yin and yang thing. One roll of toilet paper will be clean and white. The other one will be a little bit brown, a little stained. And
oh, that's good.
Oh man. Yeah. Hey Joachim, I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Like we said, we wanted to do it earlier, but we were too tired. But here we are. Yeah. We've done it, and I had a good time. I hope people got the opportunity to know a little bit more about what you're all about. You are a true Renaissance man. I mean, I think you're just kicking ass out there, doing the teaching thing. Giving back to the community by teaching. You've dipped your toe into MMA fighting. You're a musician. You're a stand-up comedian, an all around type of guy, man. Congratulations on any success that you have experienced so far, and it's just gonna multiply tenfold. I can see it coming.
Thank you, and I hope it was okay with my English and all, because it's without any alcohol in me. It's difficult to just suddenly start talking English,
No.
during the day.
No. I think this is going just fine. I don't think there's any problems with your English. None at all. None whatsoever.
Yeah. But John, thank you so much. I enjoyed myself. I really like this, and thank you.
Hey, my pleasure. Like I say, we need to stick together as artists. We're both stand-up comedians. We're both musicians. We need to stick together. We need to help each other open doors. We need to help each other carry loads, and it's all about love and respect.
It is.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, my friend.
Last message to all the people. Yeah, hit me up. On Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
You know,
Again,
I'm just like,
that's
yeah,
Joachim Eikeri, Joachim Eikeri. You'll find him on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube.
And I'm just like Jesus, you know, in a sore need of followers. So just, you know.
Now, does that mean you're going to get crucified by the age of 33?
Oh, shit. I got 2 more years.
You don't want to be just like Jesus. Be Jesus-like, but not just like Jesus, because it didn't end up so well for him.
I'm going to stick to turning water into wine then.
There you go.
Stay away from crosses. I'm kind of like Dracula in that sense. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Joachim Eikeri, everybody. Thanks a lot, my brother. We'll talk soon.
Will do.
Okay,
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Take care. That was Joachim. Bye-bye now. Okay, I'm back. I forgot to do my little read and give some shout-outs to some people who have been helping me along the way here. I want to start out with the great Miss Ellen from LA Squared Design. She has helped me on my logo. As I've said on previous episodes, the Coming Home podcast with John Allen logo was designed in cooperation with Ellen from LA Squared Design. LA Squared Design is a husband and wife team based out of the U.S., and they offer graphic design, website consulting, and marketing services. Give them a shout rather at www.la2design.com. www.la2design.com. Tell them that John Allen sent you. And they might slam the door in your face. No, tell them John Allen sent you and see what they can do for you if you need any kind of help with graphic design, website consulting, and marketing services. I also want to give a shout out yet again to the fantastic Miss Tiffany Troutman. She helped me most recently with some guidance on search engine optimization on my website. My website is johnallenpod.com, JohnAllenPod.com. I don't understand this witchcraft and wizardry that's called search engine optimization. I don't get it. But Tiffany helped me out with that. I had written an article. You can find that there. It's my latest post on my website, a little article I wrote, a little thing to motivate you people, or at least put you in the right mindset to be receptive to motivation. And Tiffany gave me some tips on how to boost that thing up there in the cyber world through search engine optimization. Like I said, witchcraft and wizardry, I don't understand it. I just wrote the article. Tiffany did the small adjustments to make it a little bit more visible out there in the Ethernet. I also want to thank Miss Jennifer Strand, another American in Norway. She helped me with the actual design of johnallenpod.com. Again, I don't understand this stuff. WordPress is supposed to be easy. Easy for normal people, not easy for me. I don't understand those things. Jennifer Strand put a lot of time into helping me out with that, so I want to give her a shout out. So there's a shout out to 3 fantastic ladies who have given me fantastic help to help me move along in this little journey that I'm on. Thank you, ladies, so very much. Okay, now we are finished with this episode of the Coming Home podcast with John Allen. Thank you all for listening. I'll be coming at you again relatively soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye, everybody.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Yeah.